Alright, well, I guess I figured I might as well do a shop video to take a tour. Our Bell seems to want to do them, so figured I'd do them as well. I start off with my table saw, kind of the big dog in the room right now. My rigid 3650, bought it used off Craigslist. It was in immaculate condition. Great little piece of equipment. I had no problems with it. I got a thin curved blade in it, Freud, with a zero clearance insert. For the price, you really can't beat it buying it used. Much cheaper than buying a cabinet saw. Plus, my tiny shop, I just don't have the room for a table saw or a cabinet saw, so I needed something that was a little bit more mobile. This was great. It's got a 36-inch rip capacity, so it's nice and big. Fence is great for a stock fence. It's probably within a thousandth of an inch off at the most. Nothing that's noticeable whatsoever at all. So for what's on there right now, buying stock, it's great. Behind it, like I said, since my shop is small, I did a little outfeed table. The bad thing is it goes right into the wall right there. But you know, you do with what you got. With my shop, it's not a whole lot of room. So basically, I just attached it to the wall, put some hinges on there, and you know, it folds. You can remove the legs, and it folds flat, which adds a little bit of extra room, which is nice. But it still gives me that outfeed capacity. And if I need more distance, use the Herky lift and pop it up and move it out a little bit, and got some more rib capacity. So from there, my dust collection, Penn State Industrial, got it used at a tool auction for $70. It's a $400. Well, it was a $400 machine, brand new. So I really can't complain about that either. It's in perfect condition, works great. I think it's a 1 horsepower. A little older, but for, like I said, for my tiny shop, it does an awesome job. And then from there, we move on to my router table, handmade router table. Took a piece of old kitchen countertop, and put the hole in the middle. Made my own fence. Works out pretty good. Not perfect. Could use a couple things on it. And a nice T-track in the middle here, but other than that, for what I use it for right now, at least, it's great. Attached it on the sides, clamps, T-tracks. Just put a piece of angle iron, attached it to the side, made sure it was nice and flat and level, and works out pretty good. Not really sure if I doubt that's an original design, but something I came up with that worked out pretty well without having to put any, without having to route a slot in the table for the T-slot. So it works out pretty good. What's powering right now is just a, if you can see that, it's kind of hard to see with the darkness, but it's a Bosch. I forget the model number on it, but it's I think it's a 2 1/4 horsepower. It's a nice little router. Works pretty good. You know, one of these days I'd like to upgrade to a 3 horse for this, but money just doesn't really doesn't come along that easily. So it did with what I could afford. From there, and my cheap air compressor works good. It's only 3-gallon capacity. Fortunately, once again in the future, I'll upgrade to a much bigger tank. But for what I use it, it's great. I don't use it a whole hell of a lot, so it's nice. Part of my dust collection, just put a shop vac hose onto it for my hand tools. Works okay. Going from the 4-inch to the I think that's like a 2.5 inch. It definitely reduces the amount of suction you get, which is big negative, but for my hand tools that I have that actually have the dust collection on them, it works pretty good. And of course, a little mini fridge with some beer. Gotta have that. This is my workbench, just a little wood vise there, made out of an old solid core door. Just put some hardboard on top of it, a nice flat hard surface that's replaceable, very cheaply replaceable. Just some hand tools, some woodworking, some not. I'm also the handyman around the house, so got to do with what I got. This is my miter station, which I built myself, obviously. Just extra storage, some hand tools, stuff like that. This is where I store some of my cut-offs. Kind of got plywood at the base, and I'm gonna have some of my hardwoods and stuff like that. I don't really have a whole lot of extras right now, but I got a little bit, and then my 2x4s and small pieces of cut-offs in the box for if I ever decide to use some of them for some unknown reason. But a little storage back there. It's behind where the miter saw sits, so it doesn't interfere with cutting. I had to end. Obviously, the dust collection doesn't do everything in terms of dust collection for this thing, so I had to add a little board behind there. There's some other options you can do for that, but I just chose not to. It's not that big of a deal for me to add two ports to try and collect that back stuff. This thing just pops off real easily, and I can just, vacuum it up if I need to. Not that big of a deal. Let me go from there. I've got my Grizzly bandsaw. That's a Hitachi, cheap. One of these days I'd like to upgrade to a sliding miter, but it was a Christmas present from my parents quite a while ago, so I just kind of added it. Eventually, I like to get a lot more better tools, but then this is my Grizzly bandsaw once again. It's the Polar Bear edition. For some reason, the Polar Bear edition was cheaper than the regular Ultimate 14-inch bandsaw. This is a great little bandsaw. I still have the stock blade on there right now because I just haven't been out to go and get a Timberwolf. But for its stock blade, it does what I need to right now. Once I get into more resawing stuff, then that's what I'm gonna have to upgrade. But for right now, it's just been using for cutoffs and some curves and stuff like that. My rigid portable thickness planer, 13-inch, great little machine. I was a little hesitant to buy it. The DeWalt's sitting right next to it. DeWalt's got a pretty good name, but this actually had some better reviews than the DeWalt. So I took a chance, and I've been pretty happy with it so far. On the corner, I got two old kitchen cabinets just stacked up. That's my paint and stain glues and stuff like that. I keep them in there so they don't smell up the whole place. Some more tool storage, small hand tools, drill bits, stuff like that. Bolts and screws on top. And just my charging station, radio. Pretty much put anything I can get up there. Instead of keeping it on my workbench, I put it on there. It does its job, like an old kitchen cabinet once again. I like to reuse stuff instead of building it as much as I possibly can, especially for my workshop, because my workshop does not need to be pretty. Things get beat up, and that's the point of a workshop. This is another kitchen cabinet. I got my baby drill press, Harbor Freight. Nothing extravagant. It works, so I can't complain. Even on the hardwoods, drilled through some oak, stuff like that. Works great on it as long as the drill bits are nice and sharp. So I think it was $60 from Harbor Freight. So it was a deal. Like I said, my drill bit storage. I got some more hand tools down there. More storage, rags, my manuals to all my machines. More storage up there. My little hand towels. I love that. Makes it so much easier than having to unravel a hand paper towel thing. What shop wouldn't be complete without a TV? Got to run on my cable, so got something to listen to down here. This is my my Grizzly 6-inch planer, or I'm sorry, jointer. It's a great little machine for the price compared to jet and Porter cable and stuff like that. It does the job, and the blades are sharp as hell. And I can verify that. When I first got it, I was cleaning the grease off the anti-rust or whatever it is, the grease off of the blades, and slit right through the paper towel and into my finger. So had to deal with that while I was building it. But you know, it's a small little workshop, like I said. It does its job. This is my clamp storage. Still need to get some more clamps. Don't have them all. It's behind my my door, so it's out of the way, and there's not much space to put anything else back there. So it's perfect for my clamp storage. Small and big. But I just made that myself instead of buying those $15 pieces of metal that they sell at the Rockler and stuff. Just took a piece of plywood and measured the spaces and cut the slits with my router. Works pretty good. I can't complain. Here's a kind of a all around from the middle of my shop. Table saw. This is my other dust collection. I use this the quick connect hose for my jointer and my planer, because my jointer sits right next to my door, so I don't want it running across the floor because I tend to trip on things. And then my planer, I just put it out in the middle of the floor, and the hose goes right to it and connects it. And when I'm done, I can disconnect the hose and put it back up and get it out of the way. So one thing I don't have that I really want, I just haven't done it. The other projects have taken priority is some wood storage. I'm thinking about putting it up on this wall because there's not much else up there, and it's kind of out of the way. There's with the table saw and the outfeed table there. That'll be a good place for it. So one of these days I'll get around to building it. Right now it just sits in the corner. So table saw, that joiner, or the router, that workbench, that miter station, bandsaw, planer, storage, drill press, storage, and joiner. So it's a nice little workshop. Like I said, little. I wish I had more room. Got my anti-fatigue mats and anti-slip mats. So that's it.